Hi, thanks for joining us today as we explore different real estate aspects of the Colombo real estate market. And today we're going to be talking about realistic expectations in the real estate market post COVID-19, the pandemic that we are all experiencing right now. We're going to be dealing today with the rental market for both commercial and residential, and just a few tips or pointers or thoughts on the factors that will come into play during the next 3 to 6 months. We're not going to forecast beyond that because it's very hard at this time to see what the future holds. But just if we looked at the next 3 to 6 months, what can we expect going forward? So if we start with the commercial real estate space, rental market for offices and for leasing properties, what are companies going to probably end up doing over the next few months? We believe that we're going to see a lot of companies really taking a hard look at their situation, and some may choose to downgrade in order to cut their costs. They will probably look at downsizing in terms of the amount of space they need. Do they need as much square feet as they had before this, or can they even afford it? There will be some enlightenment into their situation as to whether they can allow some staff to work from home or not. During this time, many companies have had staff working from home every day of the week, and maybe now they have realized that this is something that we can incorporate into our day-to-day business activities and not have the overhead of working in an office. Number two under this area would be, do companies actually need the level of luxury or the location that they are placed in right now for their office? Can they afford to downgrade their space and not have this A-grade luxury space? Will they be looking for cheaper rental options? This is another possibility that management of many companies will be looking at. They also may be looking at the possibility of having a certain section of their office in a different location or work from home. For example, some companies might not require their sales force to sit in-house in their luxury office because their sales force is going out to meet clients. Clients are very rarely coming to meet them in the office. Or if you're in a prime location and customers do come there, do I need to have my administration and operational staff in that location? Or can they be in an off-site location, maybe outside the city, or in a lesser grade space where there's no interface with clients, or even possibly in a home, a large home that can be easily converted to a commercial space? So these are several options that companies will start looking at, or probably already have started looking at. So as a result, you may see a lot of office complexes, A-grade space, or luxury houses that have been converted into office space. A variety of different commercial properties become vacant. Then within the commercial sector, let's also look at restaurants and retail type of business. A lot of businesses have been conducting orders and delivering through social media and online. Do they actually need such a prime physical location? Have they changed their business model? Are they going to choose to go directly to the customer through the web or social media and not have a large square foot space where they serve in-house clients? They don't need a sit-down restaurant or a showroom. A lot of businesses and sole proprietors, even multinational companies, will be looking at this. This too might create more available properties. Then let's move over to the residential sector. People are going to experience either job loss or salary cuts. And how does this affect their affordability of their current rental house, apartment, or even their mortgage? This may cause them to downsize into something a little smaller and more affordable. It might cause them to move to a different location a little bit further, maybe the suburbs of the city, and travel in. It may also increase community living in the sense that some may choose to move back in with family. Maybe your mom and dad have an annex and you move in there, or an uncle has a flat or something like that, where you can reduce your monthly costs even for a period of time to help get you through this. So we're going to see a lot of this happen even in the residential side of the real estate market when it comes to rentals. So what do we do from here? We're not here just to tell you doom and gloom, but talk about some solutions, some recommendations, and something that you can do or you will have to do is you will need to be flexible. You will need to be willing to negotiate with your clients. Keep in mind, they are also experiencing financial pressure. Also, they are going to have a lot more options available to them over the next few months. So you have to keep this in mind when looking at your current situation, whether you have a tenant or not. If you do have a tenant and it's a good one, I would say do whatever you can to keep them. Work with them. Do your best to work with them so that they can stay in your premises. If they've been someone who's good and paying, it's worth your while. Less headache. It's harder to go find a new tenant than find a way to keep the existing one. Look to offer them different options, whether it's deferring their payment, lowering their payment for a few months so that they can get their feet back up and running. Maybe you push a certain section of the rent off for the next 6 months, and when they're doing better, you recover it. You will know best, but work with them. Don't lose them over this. If you don't have a tenant right now and you're looking, you will have to consider a lot of things. We've had a lot of properties on the market and now we're expected to have more available. And so you might need to consider lowering your rent. Maybe you expected 150,000 before and now you'll have to drop it down to 100,000. Maybe your previous tenant gave you 350,000 and you might seriously have to consider, do I want to keep this empty or get 200, 225, 250,000? Remember, they're going to have a lot of options available to them. So I would like to remind you that 80%, 70%, 60%, 50% of the rent you're getting now or the rent you were getting with your previous tenant is better than getting 100% of no rent. 100% of no rent gives you no yield on this massive asset that you have. Your asset is worth millions, sometimes tens, hundreds of millions of rupees. But it gives you no yield if there's no tenant. So consider being flexible with them. Consider working with the current market situation right now so that you can maximize your outcome during this time. It may mean that you have to renegotiate. It may mean that you have to sign a lease not at the optimum rent that you would want for the next 1 or 2 years. But consider the fact that it's better for you to receive something than not receive anything at all. We trust this helps you. Look out for more of our videos that will be coming by very shortly. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Send us an email if you have any questions. Check out our website. Write a comment or a question below and we'll be happy to answer it for you and get back to you so that you can have some answers. If you have any topics you would like us to discuss, feel free to put that as well. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you and have a great day.